Plaintiff Meghan Keogh says she agreed to manage a local band in return for 10% of their income. She claims she paid all of their expenses and didn't earn a dime. She's suing for $4,000 for management costs. The band Opium Droid admit money's been tight, but some say the real problem is that Meghan is dating their guitarist, and that's a conflict of interest.
You're suing them having to do with a band?
About 2 years ago now, Opium Droid, the band, brought me. That's their band name.
That's the name of the band?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
I know.
Another drug case, you know.
They brought me on to be their manager about 2 years ago. So I graduated from college with a degree in music business and industry, concentrating in business and management. I also have a degree, an associate's in business administration with a minor in marketing. Rob Kogut, who has known me since like the 5th grade, knew this.
Which is, you're the middle Rob?
Yes,
yeah.
Middle Rob.
Yeah.
He brought me on knowing my new educational background, and he also knew that I had a pretty impressive resume for somebody my age in the music industry. I've managed festivals. I had multiple arena level tours under my belt. I was promoting shows. I was doing a lot of work with bands, and he told me that he was in a new band that he thought was really good, and he thought that I could come in and help. And, you know, Rob being my friend, I was like, of course, yeah, 100%. Like, I'll always back anything that you do. So they officially had me on as their manager with the agreement that I would make 10% of the band's total income. I never received a dime from any money that they made, despite the fact that I've booked multiple shows for them.
That's not entirely fair to say. We're just coming out of a global pandemic. There haven't exactly been bar shows to play.
I booked shows for them, but then it sort of kind of evolved into me doing a lot more than just booking shows for them. I am also a photographer. I'm a professional photographer. I've been brought on tour by bands for my photography before I started working for them. They had me do multiple photo shoots for them, which involved buying the set. I had to set up the photo shoots. I conducted them, and that's hours of time shooting, and not only that, but the editing is hours. And like 40, 60 hours of work.
Well,
and I've done
the first
two.
one was crap.
If the first one was crap, why would you go back to me and have me design your EP art, which is right there?
I mean, in art.
I still did the work. That's the thing. That's
And
still
so did
hours
we.
of my time.
Okay.
They also owe me money for the graphic design that I've done. I learned graphic design specifically to make those graphics right there, plus paying for Photoshop and Lightroom.
Could you have bought them some clothing to wear in that bottom picture?
That was your idea.
No, go ahead.
That was your idea.
All right, I'm just being silly.
I also do a lot of administrative stuff for them. I run all of their social media. In fact, if you go on to any one of their social media networks right now, almost 100% of the content was created by me. Almost all of the posts that are on there were posted by me. And then also, they had the opportunity to work with a very established videographer, and I wanted them to be able to get a really good music video out of it, because a music video is going to make your band look good.
Yeah.
So they did the video. Unfortunately, they were not able to cover the full cost of it at the time, so I fronted them about $1,000 for that video.
Okay, let's take a look at this video. That is very good.
Nice.
Yeah, you'd think with
I
all
mean,
that
that's-
talent, they'd be able to make enough money to pay me back.
I did bring Meg on into this band because I'm aware of her acumen and her education. She's
Yes.
good at what she does.
Yes.
I didn't know she was going to create an immediate conflict of interest, because what she's failing to mention is that Meg and Chris have been a couple for more than 1.5 years now.
Oh,
Wait.
raise your
who-
hand, Chris. There you go.
Wait,
Yes.
can I just, I'm sorry. Who was it that told me that he was in love with me?
Is this my old show?
No.
I know.
What am I? Bring him on out.
So Meg has been booking for us for a while, and we
That
have
is
done some great work together, and we have made an agreement that when the band makes income, she'll get her manager's 10%.
After profit is should be the 10%, but we haven't been making a profit yet. We're still trying to cover all of our expenses.
So I have here evidence of payments that I have made or we paid together in one aspect on here. But first was a check that I had here, if you wanted to look at it.
That check is for?
$1,780, sir.
And what was that for?
That was for the apartment we had together.
Whoa, time out. What has that got to do with a band?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, no.
I also paid the security deposit. Hello.
Whoa. That has nothing to do, this lawsuit has to do with the band, her professional association with the band as a manager. This is pretty easy. And first of all, other expenses you have and
They
things
also
you've
just owe
done,
me
that's
money.
your relationship issue.
I just think that, like, in a perfect world, a good manager isn't going to muddy their own waters. The conflict of interest is real.
Oh,
she
so
became
you're-
the manager, and then she started dating Chris, and then our creative direction changed. Because anytime we'd have a discussion about something, it wouldn't be what does Chris, please, buddy. It wouldn't be how does Chris feel. It would be I'd say something, Rob would say something, Meg would tell us in her expertise what she felt was great, and then that became Chris's answer.
First of all, you're undervaluing my work when you say things like that. Like I haven't been working my butt off for you for the last year, whether I was dating him or not. Also, I started working with you guys before we started dating. And also, this was never a problem until I said, hey, I'm doing a ton of work for you guys and getting nothing from it, and you can't even say thank you.
The issue is she performed services having to do with the band. We can't be picking on her because she happens to be dating one of you. She could be dating the other guy, then you'd be yelling at him? Well,
Yeah.
Well, at least I wouldn't.
Would you have set them up
Let
too?
Meg talk for me.
that's a dispute you three guys have, but you can't blame her. She is here as a professional, as you are. You're professional musicians. Now, there are two things here. The first is the 10%. I think that it's clear-cut that she should get her 10% for management services. These other things you're talking about are separate. When you asked for $4,000, you said $500 for administrative work.
Yep.
Okay, I am telling you that $500, that's part of being a manager. You don't get 10% for being a manager, and then you also want $500 for your administrative work. That's what you take on. What you don't take on as a manager, and you're entitled to separate compensation, is the photography, making of a video. That's not what a manager does.
When I say administrative things, I'm also counting the social media work that I do, like actually drafting, creating the posts, doing the hashtags, because that's a lot of time.
It's
when
a
they
ton,
have,
but managers get 10% for a reason.
When
What
we
do you
first
think the
started-
10% is for?
the 10% is supposed to be their total income to, you know, pay for my time. But when that agreement was
doing
first
work.
started,
Behind it.
when that agreement was first started, however, the only work that I was supposed to be doing for them was booking shows.
Unless I see a contract which specifically outlines. But if you are coming to court and saying, I'm the manager, you wind up doing all this kind of. However, I agree with you that some of this, the photography stuff and the videos and stuff, that is extra. And she should be paid for that,
Thank you.
other than the 10%.
My issue is that I've been managing them since before the pandemic. I booked shows that you made money on.
While she was your manager, did you ever make a penny?
If we were making anything, it was pennies.
Okay, but whatever. I'm saying this isn't complicated. The agreement was she gets 10%. Even if it's only $5, she should then get her 50 cents. And by the way, you're very good.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're very good. So this is, and I'm saying you can't let this personal stuff get in the way. It'll screw it up. It'll screw both things up. You'll ruin the relationship, you guys, and you'll also ruin your career. So just keep it separate. But on the other items that you asked for, I will give you $2,500. So I find for the plaintiff in the sum of $2,500.
Having everything kind of come together today, it felt hostile, kind of like how he was saying.
My relationship with Chris from now on is going to be even more strict.
Now it's over for you.
Now it's over for you.
Now it's over for you. No matter what goes on, the fight is always on. Now it's over for you.
Plaintiff Cameron Sims says he hired the defendant to do some remodeling work, but he spent more time smoking weed than getting the job done. He's suing for $5,000 for an unfinished remodeling job. Defendant Adrian Dawson claims the plaintiff came up short on money, then used threats to try to keep him working. He's countersuing for $1,700 for wages and emotional distress.
Okay, so start from the beginning. What was the contract for?
The contract was to remodel the basement of one of the properties. Originally, I met Adrian through a mutual friend. He hooked up some security cameras and he mounted some TVs for me. He did, pretty good. So it's like,
Good
hey,
job.
you want another job? He said, yeah, I can get it done. 5,000 plus material. Give me about 3 weeks. After about 3 weeks, which he said it'd be done, he starts bringing a bunch of excuses, saying
You wasn't getting the materials, bro. You didn't order the stuff.
he wouldn't come to the job, or he would say excuses from his getting custody of his kids, to his girl being in the hospital, to a family member getting shot, which nobody got shot that day.
No
In the
one got
news,
shot that
yeah,
day?
but he's making an excuse. I would never put something on my family saying that.
If you don't win your case, are we taking it back to the streets? Because that's what we was doing at first.
If that's what you want to do, then that's
okay
on
then.
you. But
Okay,
hey, that's on you.
Wait.
No, he
But that's the
threatened my
thing
life.
going forward is
He said we
like
taking
you
it to
see
the
right
streets,
here,
now we on
right here.
Judge
This
Jerry.
is so unprofessional from the beginning.
Which one is it?
We're not going to take it to the street.
I just wanted, I just want
Because
that
I
question
don't think
answered.
he'd make it out if we took it there.
Hey,
I don't
Judge.
think
It's enough. The judge
Yeah,
is
for
speaking.
sure.
How
Yeah,
much
so
of the 5,000 was actually paid? Just that answer.
the whole 5,000? Yeah, paid the whole 5,000 to him.
You paid
he
the
did
whole
not.
5,000.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
when you get money, when you get paid on a job, do you sign a receipt or do you keep the canceled checks? How do you?
No, sir, I didn't. Everything was a cash agreement. Like,
Receipts.
It was
Well,
cash. Were there any receipts?
No, I didn't give him any receipts.
I have some as well.
He's saying he never signed a receipt.
I gave him the receipts. He didn't sign them. I gave him the receipts
You've submitted here a bunch of receipts.
that I gave him, and he's saying that he didn't receive.
You give him the $2,000. You want to have some proof that you actually paid it.
Yes, sir.
So you ask the person you pay it to, please sign this receipt, so I have evidence that you received the money from him. You're saying he didn't sign this, so therefore this is worthless.
100%. I got messages.
Right,
as
100%.
well.
I'm pretty smart at this stuff.
Yeah, I never had an issue with somebody saying I didn't pay him.
How much money are you saying that he actually
got
paid you?
$3,800 total from the job.
Okay, so he's saying you did pay $3,800.
It was more than that.
You firmly say that he paid you $3,800. And you say you paid him $5,000.
Yeah, I paid
Why
him.
is there a $1,200 discrepancy?
Don't know.
But we don't have any evidence that you paid $5,000. Why are you saying the work stopped?
Well, the last time he was supposed to get some paint or whatever. We was up there working. He said he had to borrow some money from his from his mother and his grandmother. And then I only charged him for my labor. So when you can't supply the materials, that's a red flag. So I'm thinking, okay, I finished the job. I'm gonna be suing him. If you ain't got money for materials, you're not gonna have money to pay me.
Never once had to borrow any money to pay him, but
That's
that
what you
doesn't
told
even.
me, man. He said,
But
I
like I
borrowed
said,
money
he's a
from my
compulsive
mother
liar,
and
so.
I get the paint.
How long have you been a contractor?
I've been doing this for over 5 years, sir. Never had a problem with people.
And then he'd come and just smoke in front of the house for 30 minutes to an hour, get some money from me and leave. So
I smoke with you most of them times.
Nah, you didn't smoke. You ain't never smoked with me.
Okay, the lawsuit is not about who smoked.
Yeah, but it's like, it's about him not doing the job, and that's the reason, another reason he didn't do it.
Okay,
He
here's
just
what
be
I
sitting
see.
there.
Now, he did work. And
Yeah,
I
got
see by
pictures
the
of the work for you too.
Now, this is in the middle of the job. So it looks like a site where work is being done. It's obviously not the finished product. It hasn't been cleaned up. It hasn't been painted. There's stuff lying around. Well, when construction is being done, there's stuff lying around. All I'm saying is those pictures don't prove the argument either way.
The biggest thing of him not coming back was, as you can see in messages right here, he says, "Morning, I gotta alternate my days with you and another customer to keep everyone happy. Till I get caught up, I will send a material list to you in an hour or so for flooring, kitchen, setup, doors, etc. You can go pay, and I can pick it up later that day or tomorrow morning. I'm trying to get out of this apartment ASAP, bro. I got a guy who can finish the job for $2,500. I can have you done by next Thursday, and I doubt someone can finish what I started, but it's up to you."
When he said I got somebody else to finish, I was like, you know what, go ahead and get somebody else to finish. Because at that point, we were like, we could take it to the streets.
He says it right here that he
somebody else to
doesn't,
finish.
nobody else can finish my work.
Can I say something else, Judge?
Yeah.
This was right around when COVID first hit. So
That's true.
everything was shut
contractors
down.
were looking
Let
for
him
work.
talk.
Weeks behind on ordering stuff. When you go try to order something from Home Depot, it was like a 6-week wait.
That's true.
The only thing we
I
had to
could
order
never
was the
keep to that
countertop.
timeline. I could never keep to that timeline with COVID going on.
When you were saying before that, let's take it to the streets, what did that mean?
Because he sent me a text message.
Do I have a copy of it?
You should have a copy of it.
It's probably one of the other people that he
Like
ran
I
off
say,
on
you know it was
or
you,
stopped
bro.
responding to,
know
honestly.
it was you.
Because there's so many people that he
Yeah,
stopped
whatever. So many
responding
people,
to.
where they at?
I mean, it's,
Why you ain't
You're
calling
not,
up?
you're not going back and forth with each other. Speak
Right.
directly to the judge.
Is this the one which says time to get even?
Yeah. So why would I go back to and then?
Now that-
And
Sir,
then,
why would-
then
Sir,
you said,
judge is
who's
speaking.
this? You try to run off on, still don't know, but okay, yeah you do, everything about to get straightened out, tread lightly. Well, that sounds
That's
real.
why I asked. We
But
went
I'm
from
like,
taking it to the streets.
it's
to
literally
here.
like 3 or 4 people I know personally that, because you know, I met him through a mutual friend that he hasn't finished their work either.
Did you threaten him?
I didn't threaten him. And
Yeah.
over text, I might have in person, we had words, because me and him actually got into an altercation in
Sir.
Home Depot. I gave him materials because he didn't want to finish the job. So if you don't want to finish
Sir,
something,
can I
and you know somebody, you're going to try to keep, all right, let me blow up in your face so I don't have to finish. I got your money. Let me get you mad enough so I can walk away and
Yeah.
go do something else. And that's what I feel like it really is with him, is he's trying to make it, he tried to get me. He keeps saying, let's handle this in the streets. It's like, all right,
You-
why
you
you want
the
to
one
say
that
it
took
right
it
here?
there, man.
Why didn't you finish the
You ain't
job?
come by
Why
my
didn't you
house.
finish the job is the biggest thing to
'Cause
me.
I
It's
ain't
like,
want
what? Okay.
The only thing I can see that you both agree on is that $3,800 was paid to you. That part was agreed on. The question is, how much of the $3,800 that you paid was that work worth? But the $3,800, with you admit he paid, he is entitled because the work clearly wasn't finished. A part of it was your fault, part of it was his fault. A new person had to come in to finish it, and so he's entitled to some of that money back. So judgment for the plaintiff in the sum of $2,500.
We ain't gonna make up. You just heard him say he gonna see me when we get home. Ain't no making up after that.
I'm cool. I don't want nothing to do with Adrian as far as him doing work for me.